So about a week ago, Jack Smith made a filing in the January 6th election subversion case that's pending in Washington, D.C. That's the one that came back down from the Supreme Court with that ridiculous immunity decision. Anyway, he informed the court last week that he did not want to hold evidentiary hearings, or a so-called mini trial, you might have heard it referred to as, in order to determine which allegations in the indictment can remain after the Supreme Court decision, which evidence can be introduced. He decided he did not want to go that route, and he told the judge. Now we know why he didn't want to go that route. He just re-indicted Donald Trump, issued a so-called superseding indictment. It just takes the place of the old indictment. It was returned by a brand new grand jury. Anyway, what this does is, and the reason why this is important, he's not been charged with anything new here, but Jack Smith took out allegations that he think wouldn't survive this Supreme Court ruling, and he streamlined the case, and the things that remain are much more likely now to comply with that Supreme Court decision. He has taken out the things that were done in his official capacity, arguably, and he strengthened with the language of the indictment the allegations that remain, making it very clear that this is personal conduct, not subject to immunity under this ridiculous Supreme Court decision. And so this is likely to have the case move more quickly. Now we should get to trial quicker than we otherwise would have. It's less likely now that this will go back up to the Supreme Court. So this is a good thing that he did from a legal perspective. It was very smart that he did this. So that's good. We'll see where this goes from here, how quickly Judge Chutkan is going to move this along. I'm sure there will be some attempted appeal on some issue related to this superseding indictment by the Trump team. We'll see where that all goes. We're probably still a ways from trial, but this is definitely a good step. Okay, so that's that. Next thing I want to talk about, it relates to the January 6th, the Mar-a-Lago stolen documents case. Jack Smith yesterday filed his appeal with the 11th Circuit. You know, Judge Cannon dismissed that case on the grounds that the special counsel was unconstitutionally appointed. Absolutely ridiculous. But that's what she did, and he finally appealed that decision with the 11th Circuit. Now, what I want to say here is about these pundits, these legal pundits you see on cable news. Because what was missing from Jack Smith's filing was any request for the court, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, to remove Judge Cannon from the case. I had hoped that would have been included. It wasn't. The court can do it on its own. It doesn't need for Jack Smith to request her removal. They can remove her. I hope that they do, because the 11th Circuit should be concerned about the appearance of impartiality, and in fact whether or not a judge is impartial, of any judges anywhere in their circuit. So based on her past conduct and this ridiculous ruling, this is the third strike when they overrule her on this, and they will. They should remove her from the case. They don't need Jack Smith to request it, and they should. I don't know if they will. And I think Jack Smith, if it were me, I would have. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, why they didn't. But I want to talk about these pundits. Because, they can never be wrong, right? And here's what they're saying. They're saying a couple of things now. One, they're saying, oh, well, he didn't have to ask for her removal. Yeah, we know that. He didn't have to ask for her removal. They can do it on their own. But what some of them are saying is, of course he wasn't going to ask for her removal now. He's going to wait and have the court rule and overrule her decision to dismiss, and then Jack Smith will ask for her removal. And that's one thing they're saying. Another thing they're saying is, well, of course, he was never going to ask for a judge's removal. That's not proper. The proper thing is to just say nothing and then let the Court of Appeals remove her on her own, on their own. I'm calling huge bullshit on all these pundits, because none of them were saying this prior to this, to Jack Smith filing his appeal and not including a request for her removal. None of them were saying any of this before. What they were all saying was, oh, Jack Smith is just waiting. He's waiting for the perfect moment to, for waiting for her to do something really bad so that they can ask the court to remove her. That's what they were saying. And now, I mean, this was the perfect time. When she outright dismisses the case with no legal basis whatsoever, if you're ever going to ask for her to be removed, this is the time to ask. But none of them are saying. What they're saying now is, oh, of course that he was never going to ask for her removal. That would be improper to single out a judge like this. And, oh, yeah, well, they're going to wait until she gets overruled, and then they'll ask. No. Bullshit. None of these friggin' people were saying any of that before this. But this is what makes me so sick when listening to these freaking people. How about they just say the truth? I'm shocked that he didn't ask. He should have asked. This was the perfect opportunity to ask. And then speculate as to why. Maybe there's a good legal reason why. Maybe there's a good strategic reason why. Or, what I think is probably the case, Merrick Garland told him not to. Remember, Jack Smith is subordinate to Merrick Garland, okay? Merrick Garland controls this prosecution. Okay, that's the reason why Judge Cannon's ruling is wrong. If Jack Smith had power and did not have to report to anybody and was not subordinate to anybody inside the executive branch other than, I guess, the president, then Judge Cannon would be right. That his position then would require Senate confirmation. But that's not the situation. He is subordinate to the Attorney General. And he can't do any of these big things like ask for a judge's removal without the Attorney General or at least the Solicitor General giving him the okay. What I think happened is the Solicitor General and or Merrick Garland told him he can't. That's what I think happened. Now, I don't know. It's speculation, but the way Merrick Garland has conducted himself through this whole thing, that's what I think is going on. But who knows? I could be wrong. My point is, these friggin' legal pundits, these goddamn know-it-alls, are saying what they're saying now, and it's absolutely not what they were saying before. All of a sudden, of course he was never going to ask for her to be removed. Bullshit. These same friggin' people just a month ago were saying, oh yeah, Jack Smith, he's probably going to ask for her removal. This is the perfect opportunity. He's just been waiting patiently for her to do something really bad, and then he's going to ask the 11th Circuit to remove her. And now they're saying the exact opposite. These fucking people, can't stand these. You want the no BS? This is where you come. And by the way, with respect to my channel here, I'm probably going to be doing a lot more of this because I'm not wasting my time with the videos as I've been doing them. Because fucking YouTube, I'm sick of their friggin' algorithm. You can put the best video up in the world. I can give you the best legal political analysis that's ever been known to man. And if the stupid YouTube algorithm doesn't put my video in front of people, no one's going to see it. So, I've been busting my ass putting up, spending more time on these videos, and they're just dying because of this stupid YouTube algorithm. I had, my videos were doing well before, and now all of a sudden they're in the toilet. Why? I don't know. So I'm not going to waste my time. I'm a busy guy. And if I'm going to bust my ass so that 20 people can see a video, I'm not going to waste my time like that anymore. If the channel turns around and things start, going in the right direction, maybe I'll devote a little bit more time to it. But until then, I want to get you this information. I want to give you my point of view, but I'm not going to put a whole lot of time into it, okay? So it's just going to be a lot more of me just holding up my phone and talking to you guys and then uploading it. So just want to let you know the reason for the change. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll talk to you again soon.